Hi, welcome back. I am so glad to be back on here visiting with you, my stitchy friends. This is Flosstube number 25. I don't know if Flosstube celebrates silver anniversaries or not, but I'm glad to be back and have the chance to share some things with you. It has been a super busy past month. I've been remodeling and kind of redoing my sewing room. And oh my goodness, it's like when you pull all of your Christmas decorations out, it makes a bigger mess than just decorating. I think it's just pulling everything out, looking at what you have, trying to decide what you want to keep, what you want to get rid of can be such an ordeal. So that's where I've been. My room was such a mess. I would have never videoed in here and shown it to anybody. My husband would just walk through and he just shook his head. He's like, I don't know if you'll ever get this straight. It was a total disaster, but I feel so happy to have it done and everything in its place. I got rid of things that, I just hate to get rid of them, but I haven't used them in several years. So they went to Goodwill. And I feel much better about the space that I have to work in. I know exactly where everything is, got all my threads organized, because I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but sometimes I'm just ready to start another project. So I would throw all my thread in a basket and just leave it thinking I'd get to it eventually. I had a huge tub, not just a basket. The basket overflowed and went into a tub of just loose thread. And so that was all taken care of. I'm so excited. I invested in a couple more Bisley cabinets, have all my DMC. I bobbinate. Some people I know use bags. Everybody has a different way of storing their thread. The only thing I don't bobbinate are my silks. Everything else I do. And so I have a cabinet that has all my DMC. I got another cabinet to put all my weeks. I have a cabinet for my general arts. I have Romy's threads. I have lots of things that are finally in their place and I can find them. So thank you guys for not leaving me this last month, for bearing with me as I've just had a super busy month. I do want to share a few things with you. Even though I've been busy redoing my sewing room, I have been stitching. We had a bag sale. I have another bag sale coming up here pretty soon. That's going to be all patriotic. And so even though I've worked hard all day in the sewing room, I got a lot of stitching done in the evening. So let me show you my two finishes for today. I picked two of the finishes that are summer finishes because after Easter, I was ready to get all my Easter and spring stuff down, put my summer stuff out, so it will be up till fall. And summer's one of my favorite times to decorate, other than Christmas. Christmas is probably my most favorite. But let me share two of the things that I have. And both of these patterns are Violet and Verse's new releases. So I will be posting both of these on my Facebook page. So if you're not a member of the Violets and Verses Facebook group, go in and join. If you see these and say, I'd love to stitch them, you can go over to the Facebook page, place your order, and I will send these out as a PDF to you. So let me share. The first one is called Squeeze the Day, and I love the little gnomies. And so I've had this wooden piece for a while. I bought it at Walmart. It's just a little mason jar shape, but it's kind of three-dimensional. This little part that I'm rubbing on and showing you here, let's see, there, that shows up a little bit better. That's raised. And so if you sand that, which I did just a little bit so it would show up, and then I didn't use an antique wax, I just used a clear wax on this, just mainly to seal it. And so I painted it black, have the little design, Squeeze the Day with a little Nomi and some lemons. I have lemons in my kitchen. And then mounted him on sticky board, added this little white cording around the edge. I used some black, green check, and a little yellow dot ribbon. All of that came from Hobby Lobby, made a fluffy bow. I have these little buttons that also came from Hobby Lobby. I added those to the center of my bow. And then just for fun, I don't know, you may drink out of mason jars too, but I thought this looks like something fun. You could put a big thing of lemonade in. So I added one of the little paper greens and white striped straws, and then a little tropical umbrella. And so that's my finish for this particular design. This was not a hard stitch to do. I have to confess, my mom actually stitched this for me because I was busy on something else. So she did the stitching and I did the finishing on this one. So that's my little finish. These little mason jar wood pieces come unfinished, so you could paint it whatever color you wanted to. I just kind of wanted it black so the stitching would pop, and since I did have quite a bit of black in the design, that way it would make that pop and show up. So anyway, I want to say I paid under $5 for this. It's back just in the craft section at Walmart where they have like the beads and the wooden, you know, the wooden products and the paints. That's where I found it. There was a whole stash of different types of little wooden cutouts. It's not very thick, you can kind of see, but it works. It does exactly what I need it to do, and very cheap. So that's my first finish. And like I said, that will be on the Violets and Verses Facebook page if that's something you think you would enjoy stitching as well. The next piece, I love flamingos. And I know I've told you guys the story about Evan and how now he gets me a flamingo every so often, and my mom flocking my yard when I moved full of those plastic flamingos. So flamingos kind of have a special place in my heart. But I did this little paddle, and it came, see if I can hold it back a little bit. This paddle came unfinished. Well, actually, it kind of was stained, so you could use it just like it is. But it came from Hobby Lobby, and I believe I paid $9.99. And of course, they go on sale 40% off all the time. So you could catch it when it was on sale, I'm sure. But these are great paddles. I bought several to have because I can see so many things finished on this size paddle. This is the width of it, so it's a nice thickness. I painted this 2 shades of green, and I'll have the green colors listed below. I did kind of a brighter green underneath, and then I had a little bit lighter green that I brushed over the top of that just to give it a little dimension. Then I sanded some of the edges and gave it a clear wax. I wanted the true green more to show up rather than antiquing it this time, just for summer. So then the design, I have 3 flamingos and some palm leaves. The bottom one standing in a little pool of water. And then I added a fluffy bow on top and a little seashell, and that's my finish. So very quick, very easy. I stitched this in one evening, started it that afternoon. So I'm not gonna say like a 2 hours would do it. I started in the afternoon and finished it up before I went to bed. So I got quite a bit of stitching in that evening on it, but it still was a very quick, easy stitch. So this is my second finish for this week. And it doesn't have a little hanger mounted, but you could mount a little hanger on the back, or like I have in my kitchen, this will just be propped up in my tier tray and I won't need to put a hanger on it. So that's my second finish for the week. So both of those patterns, if you like them, go over to Violets and Verses and you can place an order there. The next thing that I want to share with you is just some fun facts. I don't know how you guys have made it a month without me having a little bit of teaching coming in. So I want to share some fun facts about flamingos because, you know, I said they're dear, dear to my heart. And there were some things that I didn't realize about flamingos. I knew that the pink color comes from what they eat. They love shrimp, and there's some other foods that they eat as well. And that carotene that's in those food ingredients is what actually gives them their pink color. Just like, I know if you're a baby, you know, or you have a baby, and I know my boys, when they were young, they love sweet potatoes and they love their carrots. Neither one likes sweet potatoes or carrots now. Well, my youngest will eat a sweet potato, but that's not their favorite. But as babies, they love to eat that. And if you're not careful and you feed your baby lots and lots and lots of carrots or lots and lots and lots of sweet potatoes, their skin will begin to get a little bit of a tint. And this is what has happened with the flamingos. That's where their feather color comes in from all the shrimp they eat. Something I did not know was that the pink feathers do not show up until they're about 1 to 3 years old. That's when the pink color actually starts coming through. I guess I thought it just happened much quicker, but according to what I researched, 1 to 3 years old before their feathers actually look pink. This is a fact I did know, that they usually sleep standing up, and typically they're standing on one leg. That's to conserve their body temperature. They can tuck that other leg up in their feathers and keep warm. But, you know, usually if you go to the zoo, that's how you see them. You see them standing on one leg. Then this is something else I did not know. They're found everywhere, every continent, except Australia and Antarctica. So kind of both ends of the spectrum. They do like tropical areas, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. They turn their heads upside down to eat. I didn't know that. That would be a trick. I can't imagine how that works. But according to what I read, they turn their heads upside down to eat. Their nests are made out of mud. This is something I thought was kind of fun. A group of flamingos are called a flamboyance. So it made me start thinking about that word flamboyance. Usually I associate the word flamboyant with just kind of showing out, just, you know, kind of over the top. Whether it's in decorating or dressing, it's kind of just going out there, going over the top a little bit. And so I'm thinking maybe just a huge group of flamingos would look over the top because there's all this bright pink that you would be seeing. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. The word flamingo actually comes from a Latin root meaning fire. And I'm sure that comes because of their color. What we think lots of times, like if you see them standing and they have one leg bent, tucked up under their feathers, I always thought, well, it's bent at the knee, but it's not. They said the part that bends is actually their ankle. So that was kind of cool. They've got a long foot. And I just thought that was kind of strange. Then the last fact that I had was that they only lay one egg a year. That surprised me as well. I thought they would be like a chicken or some other bird, maybe lay several, but they only lay one egg a year. So that was just kind of interesting. So there are your fun facts about flamingos. I don't know, you may be playing Trivial Pursuit this weekend and need some of those facts. If you get a question about flamingos, hopefully you'll be set and ready to go. But I just think they're kind of fun to look at. So now I started out really disliking them, and now I love everything there is to know about flamingos. The next thing I do want to share with you are some whip progress. Well, here it is up here on top. I'm not going to show you all my whips because it's shameful. I have so many whips. I have not just one basket. I have several baskets of whips. I do have my Mary Queen of Scots that I'm still gradually working on. I do not think there is any way, especially with me spending this last month kind of working on my sewing room, I do not think there's any way I'm going to have it finished in time for my trip to Scotland, which is in 3 weeks. I'm super excited if you can't tell. And but I will take whatever I have done so I can get a picture of it, at least what I have done over there. I am working still on the iStitch band sampler. It is beautiful, but I have not worked on it in a while. And so I've got to play catch up on it at some point. I've got a lot of other projects I really need to do right now. So it's kind of been put on the back burner. I'm still printing off my weekly patterns that she posts. So at some point I will get caught up and show you my progress when I do. But this week I've been in a patriotic mood, and I've been working on an exchange, and I haven't done one of those in a while. I love to do the exchanges. My mom, that's one of her favorite things. She loves to do exchanges. And so she and I have dedicated some time this past week to trying to work on our patriotic exchange. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it yet, so I will show you that when I get it done, but I'm still thinking about it. But I'll show you what I'm stitching. This is by Silver Creek Samplers, and it's Liberty Hill Farms. I just think it's such a sweet picture. And I know when I go to visit my son in Virginia, one section of highway that we go through, so many of the barns have quilt blocks on them that they've painted, these huge wooden quilt blocks. And I thought, wouldn't that be cool to see a quilt block that had an American flag? So I'm going to be on the lookout for one of those. If any of you ever see one, take a picture and send me. I'd love to see it. So like I said, I'm not sure how I'm going to finish just yet, but I will show you once I decide. But I'll show you my progress. It's still in the hoops, so excuse all my wrinkles. I've got the barn, and I've started on the bell. I'll get the bell finished tonight and hopefully some more. And it's just a fun stitch. I love the colors that's in it. I use the Call for colors. And that's kind of a rarity with me. I like to play with color, and so lots of times I change the colors up. But I love the colors in this. It's not the bright red, but it's such a pretty tone with all the other color choices that they had. I really liked it, so just kept it as it was. And I have to be honest, I'm not sure what this linen is. It's a 28 count even weave, but it was just in my stash. I found, you would not believe how much linen I found when I was cleaning out my sewing room. I found pieces of linen I forgot I even had. I don't even remember when I got them. I just found them stored in things. So it was kind of like shopping all month, actually. I found things that I was so excited about. And so every so often, I think it's probably a good thing for us to work in our sewing room, because we find things we forgot we had. But this was it looks kind of like a denim, maybe modeled looking denim. And I thought it would be great with these colors for this particular piece. So that's my progress so far. This is my whip that I'm currently working on. I wasn't gonna scare you with all my other baskets and baskets of whips. So hopefully I'll have this finished fairly soon and can show you my finish and let you know what I end up doing with it. So that's my whip. Next, I have quite a bit of haul. The first haul piece that I want to share with you, I purchased another antique sampler. And well, this is kind of a whip, I guess. I've been charting it because I am going to do it as a reproduction. And I'm so excited. I love this sampler. I bought it from Richard Griesick. And like I've said on here before, he is so trustworthy and so knowledgeable about samplers and gets some great antique samplers. So that's a good place to start. If you are interested in purchasing antique samplers, I highly suggest go to Richard's Facebook page. He has Tuesday textile days where he'll post things, and periodically he'll post other days of the week as well. But that's a great place to start if you're interested in beginning to collect antique samplers. I have a couple of Scottish samplers, and one of mine that I did chart and reproduce is, I had a peek over there at it, C.O. Henderson, and it's all in red and green. I have another one that I'm actually stitching the model now, and it has the red and green, which are very traditional for Scottish samplers, but it also has a lot of a kind of a deep purple color in it. And so they're different. Some have the red and green, but they've thrown other colors in there with it as well. Lots of Scottish samplers have very fancy looking letters. This one has a lot of Algerian eyelets stitched in it, and that's pretty typical as well of a Scottish sampler. One thing that the Scottish samplers I already own did not have, and I really wanted, was a peacock. You'll find peacocks in a lot of the Scottish samplers, and I thought, none of mine have a peacock. I really want one with a peacock in it. So I have one now. I'm so excited. So let me show you. I'll quit talking and just show you my sampler. It has just the basic alphabet across the top, and then you can kind of see all the Algerian eyelets in the center. There's a house. I like the little flower, the border of flowers across there. And this is just a very simple, more of an outline of a house. And then here are my peacocks. I was so excited. And then the name, of course. And I'm going to show you the back because this one is not framed. And so sometimes those of you, if you've never seen the back of an antique sampler, I may be preaching to the choir and all of you have, you'll see a pretty big difference in color. Not every color, but some colors have a tendency to fade more than others. It could be whatever it was used to dye the thread just doesn't hold the color as long. The red and the green are still very vibrant, and that seems typical to me. I may be wrong, but the ones that I own, the reds and the greens really seem to keep their color. Purples seem to fade very easily, and I also have a couple other colors on here that I'll flip it over and let you see the difference from what the original color probably looked like according to the back, which was protected from the sunlight and weathering and other things, versus the front. But I will tell you that it's Christian Gibb Lithel is the name. I'm guessing I may have just butchered that last name. She stitched this in 1849. I've not done any research on this person yet, but I'm hoping to, especially before my trip. My goal is to get this charted so that I can stitch on it when I'm in Scotland. I'll probably take Mary Queen of Scots. She won't be finished. I may stitch a little bit on her, but I would like to take this sampler to work on the model while I'm actually in Scotland. I thought that would be too cool. So if I can find out some information about her, if we go past where she's at, if she's buried somewhere, I would love to try and see that. I don't know that that's possible or if I'll even find her, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway. All right, let's look at the front, especially these flowers right here. Now, looking at it from the front, you can tell they're outlined in red with the green stem and everything. And it looks like maybe a gray or some light lavender color in the center. Now I'm going to turn it over and show you what that purple color actually looks like. See, it's a much deeper purple. So that's the color that I used. And that could be up to different designers. Some will go with what they see on the front. They want it to look more like what the sampler looks like today. I'm more of a purist, so I like to try and get to the color that it would have been when the stitcher actually stitched it. So I typically will take them out of a frame if they're framed. Sometimes that's scary. My Bristol is still in the frame. I'm fixing to unframe her when I get back, so you all be thinking about me. But I like to try and match up the color as closely as I can to the color that the stitcher used. So I matched up to this darker purple color right here. Now, another color that I want to show you that's quite different from the front to the back. If you'll look at this W, you can kind of see it looks kind of like a pale blue. Now, if I flip it over on the back, I feel like Vanna White. You guys bear with me. It's a much brighter blue, and so that's the color that I went with when I was choosing my threads. But as you can see, the greens and the reds are still pretty much the same as they were when it was stitched. And then the little border beneath the house, do you see how much more vibrant that is here versus the color on the front? So just kind of fun, kind of a fun fact. I just had to show that sampler to you. I'm so excited to get it charted and start working on it. I have a book that I've really enjoyed, and so I know I have a couple of you that enjoy stitching Scottish samplers. I know, Susan, you said you were related way back down the line to Mary's Queen of Scots, so I think that's so interesting. I love to learn about family history, so I think that's so cool. If you're watching, I think you would love this book. You may already have it, but the rest of you that are interested in Scottish samplers in particular, this is a book I highly recommend. It comes from the National Museums of Scotland, but you can probably go on Amazon. I think that's where I actually bought it. It was off of Amazon, and I'll have all the information down below. So if you're interested and would like to order it, hopefully you can get all the information that I give you and find it on Amazon. But it's called Embroidered Stories, Scottish Samplers. And the whole book, I'll thumb through and show you just a few things, just kind of talks about particular stitchers and what they have done, a little bit about their stories. There is a little introduction section, but for instance, this is Dorothea Clark, and it has a picture, and it will show a sample of something that they've stitched, and then kind of tell some history, some backstory to it. So it truly is Embroidered Stories. It's going to share about some Scottish stitchers, the work that they did, and a little bit of history to go with it. So if you guys are like me, this book would be a treasure. I absolutely love this book. So highly recommend it. And it also gives you some insight into what different Scottish samplers look like. You'll see certain characteristics through several of them, and then you'll see some that look totally different. So that's kind of fun to see the differences and the likenesses. So anyway, this information I'll have about Embroidered Stories down below in case you're interested. I love to be an enabler. All right, let me show you the rest of my haul here. I have some cute finishing things. So you guys need to get a list, get your piece of paper, and you're going to need to go to Hobby Lobby later because a lot of this I found at Hobby Lobby. This is a board. It's in their spring section, and I'll have all the number listed below. The board, like I used on Flamingo Finish I showed you, that's also a Hobby Lobby board. It's a shorter one. It's about the same size as this one as far as the width. It's just a little bit shorter. This is a nice long board, and I have an idea of what I want to use this for. I've just got to kind of get the workings through my head a little bit more before I put it on paper. But anyway, great board for lots and lots of different things. Let's see, I paid $13.99. Well, actually, I probably didn't pay that. It was probably 40% off. I think all their spring is 40% off. So $13.99 is the original price, and I'm sure you can get it on sale for now. So that's one of my haul items. Then I found this little board at Hobby Lobby. It's also in their spring section, and I know I paid 40% off for it. It's $7.99. So what a bargain. It's a nice thick board, and it comes with this little piece of jute, which I'll probably cut off of there. And isn't that a great size? See if I can hold it where you can see it, to put something on. So I have a little 4th of July thing that I think I'm gonna finish on here. I'm not for sure yet. I'm gonna look at it again this week, but I just think that's adorable. It has a nice enough long handle that you could put a little bow and still have your design showing. So that's another Hobby Lobby item. You guys are gonna have a big list, I'm telling you, from Hobby Lobby. Here's another one. I thought this was absolutely adorable. It's got this little, I don't know, it looks kind of jute or something that they painted these little stars on, a little picture hanger here. But I'd love these kind of picture hangers if I stitch something on perforated paper. This is great to hold those pieces. So I'm hoping to do a little 4th of July something, put it on perforated paper and display it in here. This little piece is $3.99. So I mean, you can't beat that. It's a nice thick piece. It's adorable. You don't have to paint, do anything to it, but put your stitching in the top. So I'll show you what I end up choosing once I get it finished. But this is another thing to add to your Hobby Lobby list. And Hobby Lobby is not paying me a commission, just so you know. I just liked all their stuff that I found there this week. Here's another Hobby Lobby. It's called Shut the Door Collection. I think that's hilarious. It's considered table decor, and I'll have the numbers and everything below. It's $17.99, but I bought it at 40% off because I know Hobby Lobby had all their table decor 40% off when I found this. So just watch. It would be something worth watching for. It comes with a little easel, so I can set it, you know, anywhere and display it. It's already got the little clip on top, a nice long handle if you wanted to do a bow. But wouldn't that be cute to display? And I'm not going to do anything to the color. I'm going to leave it this white because I actually think this would be great to leave out. And with the clip, I can just switch out my stitching. I could have something on there for 4th of July. I could have a summer piece. Then come fall, I could put something, a fall or Halloween on it. Christmas, it's a great piece for Christmas and spring. So all the seasons of the year, I can just unclip it, put something new on it. So what a great piece for finishing. Add that to your list. I'll have the number down below. Then let's see. That's all my Hobby Lobby goodies as far as finishing pieces go. But let me show you what I got from Stitcher's Garden this week. I tried not to look too much because I had a lot to do. I was finishing up my sewing room. But I found a few things. She had these up by the checkout. That's always dangerous. Stores know what they're doing when they display things up by where you check out, because you're standing there and I'm still looking around. I should know better by this age of my life not to look around when I'm at the checkout, but I do it every time. So I saw this little stand and I'm like, that is absolutely adorable. And it's got this little saying. It says, stitch small things with great love. And it has a bee. And you guys know I love bees. And so this comes out. You can take it with you if you want to. Just pop it in your bag. Put it in there. And so it sits. And I can't show you what it does because I'm using my phone to video. But your phone sits on here. And there's a little cutout, so you could charge your phone. I have this sitting over by my sewing machine, and it's wonderful. I had my phone on it the other day when I was up here working. I had it charging because I could plug my charger in from underneath, and it helped me because I could turn on other people's floss tubes. There's some great ones out there. I know I like so many of them, and I'll list some of the ones I like to watch down below. And lots of times I'm pushed trying to find time that I can work in getting to watch my floss tubes. And so this makes it so much easier because it's holding my phone right up where I can see it, and I can kind of listen, glance over at it if I need to. Wonderful. So Stitcher's Garden has a bunch of these. I absolutely love it. So that was kind of a splurge. Then, since I'm redoing the sewing room, I think I need some more pictures. Now, when I'm going to do these, I have no earthly idea because, like I said earlier, my stash is big, or my whip pile is big. But I need to do these. This one is by Hands On Design, and it's called Resting Stitch Face. I think it's hilarious. Because even, I know my youngest son, he'll come in and he'll see me, he'll be talking and I'm concentrating on what, trying to do a stitch or something. He's like, Mom, are you stitching? You've got that face. So I had to do this one. So Resting Stitch Face. I think that's cute. So anyway, that's got to be done. That might be cute on that little white easel I showed you. That looks like it might be a good size. May have to use that. Then this one I just thought was cute. It's by Pickle Designs, and it's called Cross Stitch To-Do List. I always have a to-do list. I don't know about you. I'm sure you do too. It says cross stitcher to-do list. Buy fabric, buy thread, buy more fabric, buy new charts. It doesn't matter how many you have, you need new. Talk about fabric, and then start stitching. And I thought this fits me to a T. I have so much fabric and I just keep buying more. I have more charts than I will ever stitch, but I just keep buying more because it's a new one. And I might want to do that one at some point. You guys, please tell me in the comments I'm not alone in this, because I kind of worry about myself sometimes. Tell me I am not alone in buying more fabric, buying more charts when I have more than I'll ever use. I want to know that I have a bond with some of you out there. So anyway, this has got to be done and put up in my sewing room. I may change the colors on that. I'm not sure yet, because I do a lot of blacks and reds in my sewing room. And I may play with the color just a little bit on this one. But anyway, those are two charts that I had to have. I just thought were adorable. Now, I want to show you a goodie that I got from a sweet, sweet lady from my Violets and Verses page. I just think it's adorable. It has violets. Let me turn it where you can see. It says the Violet Book for Girls. Isn't that adorable? So I've got to turn this into something. I'm thinking I'm going to make a little bitty bag and to use like for tools and notions and that type of thing. So when I figure out what I want to do with this sweet, sweet fabric, I will share it with you guys. So this was an exciting little happy in the mail for me. Now I'm going to show you some things that I have to give away today. I have, since I had Squeeze the Day, I have a little accessory grouping of things. I have a roll of cute lemon ribbon. I have this little patch, Squeeze the Day. I thought if you made a little bag or something, you could put that little patch on it. And then I have a fat quarter of this adorable lemon fabric. So some cute things for summer. So that will be one giveaway. Then I found this little, it's a needle threader and cutter. And I thought that was such a cute little thing to put in your bag. I mean, that would drop down in a bag if you're traveling or whatever. That'd be easy to take. And then I also have this little pack of buttons, and I'm going to try and find that small paddle that I did with the flamingo. I have another one I bought to give away. I can't put my hand on it right now, but I will have a little paddle to go with these buttons. So that's the third giveaway. And then the last giveaway for today is one of the boards from Walmart. And you can see this one, it's not finished. So you could paint it whatever color you wanted to paint it and finish it however you would like. So the giveaways for today. The first giveaway is this little packet of lemon goodies, the patch, the fat quarter, and the ribbon. That's one. The little needle threader and cutter is 2. I have a board, a paddle here somewhere, and the little sailor buttons, that's 3. And then the wood mason jar piece is 4. So we have 4 giveaways this week. So if you will just comment about the video, be sure and like, and please subscribe. We'll go from here, and I'll draw this next week and let you know who the winners are. And like I said, I'm so glad to be back on here. Thank you guys for sticking with me this month as I've been so busy. I have missed coming on here and talking to all of you. Like I said, I love to get on and read your comments. And even though I'm the only one doing the talking during the video, I feel like we're connecting when I'm reading your comments. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to try very hard to post some finishes for the next 3 Fridays in a row. I leave in 3 weeks. Well, actually, I say it's a little less than 3 weeks for my trip to Scotland. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to do the traveling violets while I'm over there. So you'll be sure and join in. And I'll have some giveaways I'll bring back from Scotland as well. So that's some fun coming up. But before I leave, since I've been absent for a month, I want to come to you each week between now and my trip. So I have some finishes already lined up to share with you next week. One of them is a reproduction and adaptation release. It's finally finished. And I also have another little piece that's kind of a surprise I'll share and show you next week. So anyway, I hope all of you guys take care. Have an absolutely wonderful weekend. To all you mothers out there, you may be a mother of a human child. You may be a stepmother who is helping raise a child. You may be a mother of a fur baby. But this is your weekend. Celebrate it. Have some time for you. Get some stitching in and just enjoy your weekend. That's what I plan on doing. We're having a beautiful weekend in Arkansas. Sun is shining. No tornadoes. Hallelujah. And I intend to sit in my chair and stitch as much as I can this weekend. So I wish the very same for you. So thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.